Alrighty, make sure to hit like on that video. Please comment and say something silly down in the comments, or if you agree with anything, because, it boosts the old algorithm and, helps us all out, really. So today is the pleasure of tuning out the negative, and November 27th we are, 2022. Okay, this is Marcus Aurelius in his personal meditations. How satisfying it is to dismiss and block out any upsetting or foreign impression and immediately to have peace in all things. And I know this was probably written in a different language, so I was thinking about that the other day. I hope these things are properly translated, and I feel like they are. Just wondering how different it would be in his language. So the Stoics were mercifully, now this is Ryan Holiday, the Stoics were mercifully spared the information overload endemic of today's society, which, yeah, okay, we have. They had no social media, no newspapers, no television chatter to rile them up. But even back then, an undisciplined person would have found plenty to be distracted and upset by. The part of Stoic mindset then was sort of a cultivated ignorance. Pupillus Sirius's epigram expresses it well. Always shun that which makes you angry, meaning turn your mind away from the things that provoke it. And honestly, when I even just saw this title, I thought about how I cut out extremely negative people from my life. And then that's also forced me to maybe I should be more positive too. Because I feel like some people in the last couple of years, and I don't blame them, when I was in more negative states, and probably I would say around March 2021, I was probably in my most negative state ever, just really not having a good time with life. And a part of it was because, I felt almost lonely. But then being negative almost pushed people away. And though it was kind of funny because someone recently, they actually said that they worked for me too. So they kind of had to put up with it anyways. But they said, they were like, you can be extremely negative sometimes, but it's almost funny when you get into that mode and making fun of things. That's why it's bearable, is because you're very funny at pointing out weird things that you don't like and being obscure and making fun of these things. But anyways, me recently cutting out negative people and kind of informing other people that, oh yeah, don't talk to this person because I just felt it was unreasonably negative. And I think people bring out certain things of each other. Someone might be more negative when they're around me versus when they're with someone else, right? So I think you teach people how to treat you almost. So if you allow that negativity when they're around you, they'll open up and be more negative around you, which is not good for your life. But I noticed, when other people have saw that I cut out certain people, I found their attitudes have changed around me because they know that I'm cutting out negative people. So then they're being less negative around me. And I don't know, it's a harsh life just to slice people right out of your life just because they're being negative. Everyone needs to be negative a little bit and vent, I believe. But there's a way of politely pausing and saying, oh, maybe we shouldn't talk about this. Maybe this is a little too negative. Maybe it'd be better if we talked about something else. So you can slightly push the direction of the conversation. You don't have to be like, oh, fuck, you're fucking negative, and get up and leave. Because that's also weird. Yeah, I guess I would encourage, instead of just slicing people out of your life, you can encourage them to be more positive, or give some time and space between you and a month or two, where you just don't talk. And there's also just keeping busy in your own life and doing things. And it's kind of funny because I find that the more busy I become, the more people want to hang out with me. I don't know why, but I think maybe it's just my perception of it, because it's when I'm really not busy and I'm lonely and I'm wanting to check stuff out and no one seems to be available. Maybe they can sense that bit of neediness and they're like, I don't really want to hang out with him, he's being needy. But other than that, yeah, I find the busier you are, the more people want to hang out with you. And then I find by me kind of pushing back, hanging out with friends, it's no, I really want to, I'm going hard at this pilot thing. So, and then they know hanging out with me is more rare. So then if I do make plans with them, they'll definitely more appreciate and make those plans more concrete, because if they cancel, they're like, oh fuck, I might not see this guy for a month or two. So anyways, that was a bit of a tangent, but okay, so always shun that which makes you angry, meaning turn your mind away from the things that provoke it. If you find that discussing politics at the dinner table leads to fighting, why do you keep bringing it up? If your siblings' life choices bother you, why don't you stop picking at them and make them your concern? Same goes for so many other sources of aggravation. It's not a sign of weakness to shut them out. Instead, it's a sign of strong will. Try saying, I know the reaction I typically take in these situations, and I'm not going to do it this time. Like, that's kind of like the light push with your friend. Like, it's kind of like if you bring up something. Like, there's a couple friends, like, I do not talk politics with because, like, I don't know, one of us, okay, it's not me, but like some friends get very triggered by politics. Me, I think I'm just like a centrist weirdo. I just love hearing everything. But some people don't like I guess maybe I don't want to say play devil's advocate, but like I'm very interested in sides. Like for example, like I love Bill Maher's quote about like he is pro-choice himself, but he said that I don't think pro-life people are evil and want to control women. He said, I think they just believe that it's murder. So, and I like these conversations. I like knowing why people think the way they do. And I think everyone in politics just wants the best. Like people that are pro-life, or no, that are pro-gun or anti-gun, realistically, if you think about it, they think their way is the safest way for society. People that are extremely pro-gun aren't like, yeah, fuck, let's just have guns so people can shoot each other. No, they think that like in Texas, by everyone having a gun on them, that makes people less likely to pull out a gun and shoot people because they'll get shot. Like they think that if everyone's armed, and it's with the Second Amendment in the States, it's like a whole different thing from most other countries because it's like they believe that people should have more power than the government, and that came from a time where like a gun and a grenade were like the most powerful weapons. So if everyone had it, then the government can't like be a tyrant, and that's their thinking. And like the argument of like, well, Hitler and Stalin took away the guns. It's a pretty good one because you know tyrants seem to want to take away guns from the people. And oh, speaking of which, we just had a big gun ban in Canada. So we'll see how that unfolds. We're getting quite far from philosophy today, aren't we? But yeah, like to go back on what I was saying, it's like there's certain people that I know they'll just get huffy and puffy. So it's like there's no point. We'll just talk about the goddamn weather or stuff we really agree upon, and like it's something I've learned recently is that like I guess because I find these arguments, I used to find these arguments worth it with everyone because I did think everyone like I should value everyone's thoughts and experience, and like normally you should, but there's just some people it's like no matter what is said, no matter like there's some people I know that they're still extremely homophobic, and like I used to feel like it was my duty to convince these people, and it's like why does it bother you? Why does what two adults do in private bother you? And I used to find it's like no, I need to convince these people because you know they're my friends and they're my acquaintances or people I know, and it's like this is really worth it, and this is. But honestly, it's like well they'll find if. I don't know what that means. I'm more stoic than stoic. I don't know what that means. Explain it, Jeffrey, if you don't mind. But it's almost like not all these conversations are just worth it. Like for example, like some people when you talk pro-life or especially when certain things happen, like Roe versus Wade, like they, like some people immediately, like, cause me, I'm a white fellow, and some people immediately in those arguments would be like, well, you're a guy, you don't get to have an opinion. So like honestly, that at that point, you just like I just like oh sure yeah you're probably right, you're 100% right, I totally agree, because like that's their view and they're stuck in that, and so I'm never going. It's funny because I probably agree with most people because I am pro-choice, but I just seem to understand why people would be pro-life. But like some people don't even like that I would defend pro-life people. Like they get so fucking negative and like stuck in their own head, and like and then it's like when I slightly disagree with them, it's like you're a fucking guy, you don't have the same genitals, you don't get to. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, that argument's not worth shit. And for one, when you're a dude and you're arguing with a girl and she starts raising her voice, you just look like an asshole. So that's how you automatically lose. And like, funny, like, I guess that's the privilege of being female. If you're in public and you want to just be right automatically, you just kind of raise your voice and then everyone kind of looks towards you and then the guy gets embarrassed and he'll just agree with you. Okay, sorry, I'm reading a comment by Jeffrey. Stoicism is a belief that things are randomly stochastic, randomly determined, having a random probability distribution or pattern that may be analyzed statistically, may not be predicted price. I'm not sure if I understand, but I'm also reading really quick. Okay, so I'll finish what Ryan Holiday said. it's not a sign of weakness to shut them out. Instead, it's a sign of strong will. Try saying, I know this reaction will typically take in... I know the reaction I typically take in these situations, and I'm not going to do it this time. And then follow it with, I'm going to remove this stimulus from my life in the future as well. Because what follows is peace and serenity. And honestly, you guys want to know something? It's like, I love just talking about stuff. And not everyone, like, you know what? And I even had a buddy, like, he was asking me, and I was trying to explain to him, like, how he needs to get more online with his music, but like, he just seemed to not give a shit, even though he would ask me questions. And maybe it's dry, and he's an artistic mind, so it's like dry to talk about like algorithms and, you know, using the right title and thumbnail and stuff. And not everyone wants to hear these things, and not everyone wants, like, I just realized I really like discussing shit, but like, not everyone wants to listen and discuss back. So, and then I realized, like, oh, I have a YouTube channel, and, you know, people seem to like what I'm saying sometimes, or discuss or engage in disagreements, and I do find it more fun to talk on here and have people react and comment, and we have discussions in the section, or I reply next video. Like, I honestly enjoy that, because I felt like I wasn't really getting that stimulus, the right stimulus, with people talking to people all the time in my life, in real life, as well. Like, it's kind of like, well, I just decided to sit here and talk and make my own videos, and I was trying really hard to get more people podcasts, and it's like, no, I'm just going to continue to do monologues by myself. If I don't have someone that week, I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep going. I do like discuss. I would love, honestly, you can be anyone. You don't have to have anything significant going on in your life. If you do want to be on my podcast, you don't have to be someone that's famous. I'll take anyone, and you can be, we just do it on Zoom. Yeah, I don't have a big setup or anything. Yeah, just hit me up, and it's, my email's in, not the description, but if you look at my info, I have an email there. It's like Mackenzie J video or film or something like that at Gmail. But look it on my channel. I'll definitely hit you up and have a podcast, and it can be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, anything really. Currently, it's funny because I have one more coming out, something that I did with an author. Actually, the person that painted that. It's a nice little giraffe. She's got good paintings. I feel like I kind of want to promote her stuff. She's got a painting right now that I think is up for like 5K. So, not that one. I'll discuss it with her. Because I want to help her sell her paintings, because her paintings are really good shit. Anyways, thanks. See you guys tomorrow. Ciao for now. Bye.